conversation with the president of the SLTA, Iqbal Bin Issack, to discuss about the health and wealth of tennis in Sri Lanka. So today, to start off with, I just want to inquire about the present state of the game in Sri Lanka.
Tennis, well, thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to say something about tennis. And well, frankly, tennis association is the oldest national body in Sri Lanka. We are over 100 years old. In fact, we had a centenary a couple of years back. So it is the oldest association, I would say, in any sports in Sri Lanka. And the question that you asked us about the present status of the game of tennis, we are in the Davis Cup, we are in Group 2. In the Fed Cup, we are in Group 2. And in the juniors, we are in the top 16 in Asia. Individually at the moment, not much significant ranking, but we have a lot of players who are ranked in Asia at the moment. Many of them are ranked in the girls and the boys section. We conduct many tournaments in Sri Lanka. In fact, our calendar is full of tournaments, and our tournaments are conducted right around the country in the outstations as well as in Colombo. We have a lot of centers which we have started. Right now we have 12 centers, and we pick the players from those players, and there's a lot of development also happening in this area.
Yeah. Then what are the steps that you are taking to broadcast the game in Sri Lanka and take the game to the outstations?
Well, in the outstations, like I said before, we have 12 centers which we have started. We have centers in Batiklo where we have 3 hard courts put up there. We have just started in Trincomalee. We have in Negombo, Kurunegala, Bandarawala, Kandy. We have a lot of centers which we have started. And to be frank, we have 12 centers right now. And what we do is in the centers is we have our coordinators whom we have put to look after each center there, and they visit all the schools in those areas, and they go and speak to the schools, get them involved in tennis, and that's how we have started the program. So we have started it from the outstations a lot. And in fact, right now in the under-10s, we have the under-10 tournaments, annual tournament here in Sri Lanka, in Colombo. And in that, we have over 8,000 children playing tennis today.
So, outside Colombo, how many courts do you have?
Well, I can't give the exact amount, but
I mean approximate.
We have many courts. We have many courts in the centers, and I'm very happy to say that a lot of schools today are putting up their own courts.
Yeah.
A lot of them are putting up their own courts.
That is not a problem as such.
Well, we have developed the sports, and the clubs in those areas are conducting all the activities at the moment where there are no courts in schools.
All right. Now, from the schools arena, now when you come to the nationals and internationals, now where do you stand where international tennis is concerned?
Where international tennis is concerned, like I told you, in the Davis Cup, we are in Group 2. That's a men's event. And in the Fed Cup, also we are in Group 2. Now Davis Cup this time it is a world group. So we played Paraguay about 9 months back, just before the COVID started, and tennis has been at a standstill since then in the world arena. So we have another match to be played. I think the next one is against Taiwan, which is supposed to be played in August, but we still don't know where we stand.
So now aren't you all developing a system where you will be playing at least against a neighboring country in and out basis?
At the moment, no, because of this lockdown thing. I mean, we find it very difficult to travel. In fact, all travel has been stopped at the moment.
Yeah.
So because
I
of
mean,
that.
generally.
Otherwise, yes. In fact, to be very honest, very frank to you, that this is the first time in the history of tennis that we have started a national pool, which we are hoping to start next week. where it will be a full-time program there, where all the top players will be training at SLTA itself. And this is going to be free of charge. So the top players from the 15, 16, 17s, 18s, they will be all practicing at SLTA. And we have already appointed a national coach. We have the physios appointed, and we will be signing this agreement hopefully next week so that we can start from there. In the past, tennis has been an individual sport. So everybody has been training on their own. But what we thought was, there are a lot of poor kids also who find it very difficult. They reach the top and then they stagnate at that, and they have no way to. So because of that, what we thought was the best thing for Sri Lanka is to have a national squad, a full-time, paid, everything looked after. So that's what we are starting next week. And we're the first time, like I told you, in tennis in Sri Lanka that we are starting. Also, let me go a little more further. We are also having another program there where the outstation players, a lot of the outstation players are finding it difficult to continue tennis when they reach a certain standard, because the standards are very high. So because of that, what we thought was, we did a study and we found that a lot of players, they stop or they give up tennis at the age of 13, 14. So because of that, the top players there will be paid by SLTA for their traveling, their entry fees, all will be paid by SLTA. And that program is also starting hopefully within the next 2 weeks.
Now you outlined some of it. This question, your future plans, as well as where do you see that this game would be perched within the next 5 years?
We have made a start now, like I told you, with the national squad there. And hopefully our plans are once the players start after a couple of months training and things like that, we will look at it. And the top players in that group will be traveling abroad with a national coach. We have already appointed a national coach, like I told you, the physio, everything is being looked into. And they will be traveling over to overseas countries, to other countries, and taking part in many tournaments. This is the thing that is lacking, because we have just a handful of players who can afford it. They go out of the country. I'm thankful to their parents and all for taking them. There are some kids being trained in Spain. Some of them are being trained in the USA. One or two of them have been playing in Germany. So this has all been done with their personal funds. But there are a lot of others also, like the people who can't afford it. So that's why we have started this program. And the national team will be training abroad also. In the past, which we have done a couple of times just before Davis Cup, but that's too short. You must have. So we are having a full-time program now, where tennis is going to be played at least for 5 days a week at SLTA. Scott will be training there, and whatever facilities possible, we will be providing them with all the facilities. And also, this team will be traveling with the national coach and taking part in some of the tournaments abroad.
Yeah. Then finally, what I want to ask you is, tennis being a sport which is over 100 years old and has a good structure, and you all have programs that are working and doing well. But I find one thing that you all are not producing ranked players on a regular basis. Maybe once in a way you will get a player coming out, very, very seldom, but not unlike in India.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, that is in the main event, in the men's singles, women's singles, which I told you that hopefully within the next few years there will be some changes, because we have started a national pool. But I also like to tell you that we have world ranked players in our wheelchair tennis. We have 12 players who are ranked in the world today. In one of the countries, fortunately, maybe because of the war, we have many of them differently abled, and we have 12 of them ranked in the world today. And 3 of them are in the top 50s, 60s, like that, And we are looking after them very well. There is a training program going on every day for them. We have a coach dedicated to them. Then we have a foreign coach also who looks after their practices, everything. And I'm happy to say that any of those 3 players would beat the number 4-5 in the world today. And so they are ranked, and They take part in a lot of tournaments abroad. They do a lot of traveling, and any of those players would have traveled to more than 40 countries.
So that is the
So we have world ranked players,
so
but
that
in
is
a
the-
different event.
So that is the good news that you have. for
Yeah,
that
yeah,
technique.
yeah.
Yeah.
And SLT is looking after them very well. I mean, in fact, I must tell you about 3 months back, we got down 3 new wheelchairs for the top 3 players, and each wheelchair cost us about $3,500. These wheelchairs, when our players went to Malaysia for the qualifying rounds in the World Cup, we got them to come and they took their measurements. So it made to their measurement itself,
Yeah,
for
made to measure.
made to measure for all 3 tier players, and they are doing extremely well, the wheelchair players. I mean, hopefully now, I think next we are planning to go to Portugal to play the qualifying rounds in the World Cup, and hopefully we will qualify there. Once we qualify, then we have to go to take part in the World Cup, which is in Italy. So we are doing well in the wheelchair tennis.
So that means that you're taking the baton and running with the wheelchair tennis
Yes,
in Sri
yes,
Lanka.
yes, yes.
Okay.
At the same time, we are trying the normal tennis as well as the women tennis to do. The girls tennis is doing quite well, I should say.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Isaac. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and I wish you the Indonesia all the best. Good luck to you all.